Hey guys, it's Brad. I am right here in front of the New Otani Hotel, which is just across the street from Tokyo Game Show. Kojima Productions is holed up in a little suite over here. Ryan Payton, who's their big localization guy and does their podcast, oversees the translation, all that stuff for Metal Gear Solid 4, is in there demoing the game and allowing us to play it. So I think I may have actually the auspicious honor of being one of the first Westerners ever, at least in the public press, to play the game. So the demo they have is the same demo that they've been showing off since, I guess, the Metal Gear Solid anniversary, or the Metal Gear anniversary back in July, and then they had it again in Leipzig, and now we're getting to play it. So I got to get my hands on the game and see all the changes that they've made to the actual mechanics of controlling Snake. They've streamlined a lot of things. They've made it a little more kind of third-person shooter-like in a lot of ways. As if playing Metal Gear Solid 4 for the first time wasn't a big enough story, the controller that I picked up to play it with was connected with this little security chain so that nobody was taking it out of that room. It was a little heavier than you would expect out of a 6-axis, and then when I started playing the game, it was vibrating. So hey, they got force feedback on the PS3 now apparently. The biggest thing I can say about it is that I didn't even notice it at first. You're so used to playing games with like the DualShock 2 or the 360 controller with force feedback that when you feel it on a PS3 game, it's just like it always was on those other systems. So they've got force feedback in there. That controller looks exactly the same PS button in the middle, same kind of squishy analog triggers. Buttons are all the same. It looks just like it did, heavier, force feedback. So they're totally evolving the design of Metal Gear Solid 4. They're kind of stripping out the more antiquated mechanics of the past games and just bringing it up to speed with kind of modern design conventions. As I mentioned, it's more shooter-like now, so you can go to kind of a Gears of War style third-person camera and just start blasting away. There's also an auto-aim that makes it easier to shoot from the hip and just hit guys without really doing precise aiming. There are going to be Warzone sections of the game where you're not even going to have to worry about stealth, and you're just going to be out there blasting away, going balls out with all those crazy Metal Gear weapons that they always give you. Speaking of weapons, they're going way crazy with the amount of stuff that you can fit in there now. Like, you're going to have a backpack full of weapons, and then you'll have like a subset of those that you can equip at any time. But you can swap those out whenever you want. But there's also a lot of weapon customization. So I saw like an M4, just standard machine gun. Each weapon has mount points on it. So there's like a top mount where you could put a scope, or I don't know, maybe a laser sight. They only showed the scope. Then there will be a bottom mount where you could put a flashlight on there, or a grenade launcher. I mean, you're going to have a lot of freedom to collect different items and slap them on your weapons to increase the functionality. Another interesting thing I found out about the demo is, as you've seen in that demo, you're in that same Middle Eastern village environment that everybody's kind of seen ad nauseum for a while, like pretty much since they've ever been showing this game. I found out in that demo that is set about 15 minutes into the game, so that's like smack at the beginning of the game, the very first kind of tutorial area that you play through. And they didn't say how long you're going to be there, but I got the impression it's not going to be that long. I mean, Ryan's told us that you'll be going to South America at one point. The trailer that they kicked out yesterday had a lot of other very disparate locations in it, so it seems like, anybody that thought that was MGS4, that one area, like, you forget that. It sounds like you're pretty much going to be trotting the globe. All right, well, I got to go process all this stuff that I just played. It's all percolating in my head. There will be a story up with more concrete details soon. We've got that trailer going up. There's going to be tons more TGS coverage coming, so keep your eyes on the site.